Yeah, thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you to this tiny session to kick everything off about embrace the change, empowering the future. And who of you love change? And who loves to change if it happens to you? And let's face it like this, we're at SAP are having heavy changes. We have to adapt new habits, new ways of production of software, and how to deliver it to you in the audience and to our customers. And you might have been aware of our latest um, updates in the Business Unleashed in February, where we shared the new era of enterprise management. And partially it's not that new because certain things you're already aware of, that we have really good transactional systems as a fundament for everything, that we have transformational insights, which is the layer in between gathering and sharing the data into the processes, and of course the system of AI agents, which is the recent adoption of all the software needs and trends to battle the need of new ways of working and to interact in that section. This is the average side we see. But when we dig deeper into that, so no matter how advanced AI becomes in needs of trusted data, so we need this layer in the middle where we have from SAP sources and non-SAP sources a stable layer with the SAP Business Cloud to have the unmatched data in the center. This is coming from all the source systems you already have in common. So this could be a very good first stage to get in there, to have the unparalleled applications running in a stable way, interacting with each other. But the real big benefit of this new idea is in the top layer with SAP Business AI, which is really embedded into each and every level of your applications, and not in a siloed way, but in our way of working. It'll be cross all solutions, cross all layers, that one of the AI agents knows the other as well and can point and interact and will maybe guide you from a financial transaction to the green ledger and maybe then to the meter to cash process in that way. How this looks in detail and how we bring this into the full life is the zoom in to the new version of the sun picture. What we see in the ground is that we have the business technology platform as a fundament and the business data cloud as a circle. So this is where we source from all the interactions, we source from the data exchange, and where all the applications like the cloud ERP, the customer experience part, the human capital management, so all solutions will leverage from. Of course, being from the IBU, my favorite layer is the one above, where we have the industry-specific solutions, where we have 2 more slots here in the afternoon, where my colleagues will speak above. Because the most important part is that we have in all the whole setting the interaction to make your processes work, how they need to work, and how to interact in the best way for the future part. How does this look like for the value chain? Because we're talking a lot about the high-level business suite, but bringing this era to our dedicated industries like energy and utilities into the value chain is the most important part of this. So we want to infuse AI topics, agents, the new data layers, data objects in the business data cloud into the end-to-end value chains of our industries and bring it into the industry-specific processes at that part. And now we had the vision where we are going to, and you might ask the question, how do I get there? And this is why I really like this event, because it's all about the how and what is the way, and getting inspired by others how to get there. At SAP, we defined 2 main parts how to unlock the full potential. If you have a really mature business with a very high volume of data, a long history with SAP, we would point you to Rise with SAP. This is the approach we suggest for these kind of customers. If you're entering into a new country, are a net new name, never in touch with SAP, Grow would be the path to go to really set the seed and grow your business from that area at that part. But we want everyone and everywhere to get there in style. And this is exactly where we will point into that direction, where we have designed an integrated tool chain and a RISE methodology to guide each and every customer from wherever they are into the designed and dedicated area. So we start with the monolithic ECC maybe at the moment. And the most important part is to get the vision to get there into the modular business suite section. But every is different, and this is what we've seen all over the other days. Everyone starts at a certain point, needs guidance, needs maybe insights to get how the processes have been designed, where you have custom code in there, how you want to move with a greenfield, brownfield, a mixed field, whatever approach. And this is exactly where we support with dedicated tools and where we were working hard on during the last couple of years. So the first parts are for sure Signavio and LeanIX to support you in the process design and how we set up the parts in there to analyze how your processes are today, maybe where you lose time, where we have a modernized version in the business suite in the future, and you can model your to-be processes at the same time to discuss it with your business without already talking technology and which solution, but you're on the level how a process should look like. We have the BTP and build area if there's something missing, because there might be your unique selling proposition where you have no clue how to get there. And maybe this is something we do not have in our portfolio. First and foremost, we have many partners building great process extensions to what SAP is already offering. The other part could be you are moving onward and build it on your own with the BTP. And last but not least, I already addressed the part of change. The hardest part is, of course, to take all your users with you who have to handle this every day. And this is why our latest edition, WalkMe, can really be a game changer. Because WalkMe is the included part where we can guide our end users through a process where they can ask questions and where they can interact and learn on their way how to work with these solutions in that part. But this is the overall part, the generic part. I think most of you are more interested how and what does this mean for energy and utilities. Let's start with oil and gas. First of all, I have to excuse myself because we still have a labs preview on that slide. And I learned it was released today. So as I handed in the slides earlier, I still have the labs preview on that, but I want to point you on the mobile app for field logistics and that it was released today. Klaus Borkenstein is here too. He has, I think half an hour after this session, his slot talking about the oil gas energy roadmap, showing all the magic around AI, and he will definitively talk about this latest edition, which was released today. The other part is the logistics tracking, where you already see a little video going up, which is one of the latest innovations we shipped into that point, which allows you to supply and return, to follow that supply and return equipment. Where is it going? Where is it in the shipment process and everything around that? So I can highly recommend that session to go in there and have the detailed conversation on that with my colleague Klaus. Looking a bit deeper into the utilities part, very good, is that we have the customer experience now very much in our focus. Because with all the shifts we see in the energy transition, we have to change how we interact with the utilities customer. So as each and every one of us is a customer of a utilities, and especially in Germany, sometimes it feels really like they send you this paper card every year, you fill in and that's it. But this is not working anymore because we need every roof to get solar panels on that roof, having different interactions if it has a customer has an EV, a charge point, a battery in that house. So having a different interaction from the service perspective in a service center, having different talks. Knowing your customer from the best side is something which is very close to my heart, as it's in my team, and where we see a lot of shipments coming and where we had many shipments over the last couple of years. So the Service Cloud for Utilities V2 is evolving. We now had with Luton Water one of the first customers going live, and we will see them at the ASU conference talking about this go live. We have the SAP CX AI toolkit, which enables you having own AI agent services within your solution, and where you can bring these things customized to your needs within the CX portfolio. And last but not least, we enabled Immersis to talk utilities. So having a meter understand and create new tactics that someone maybe now has an EV, and it might be good to include him into a marketing campaign to sell him the wall box, do an offering on a solar panel, a battery, or whatever. So this is a major milestone. What I'm not covering here, because we have another great session starting parallel to Olga's Energy from my colleague Holger Schweinfurt, sharing everything around the S for Utilities roadmap, the latest innovation in that space, and I highly recommend, if you're interested in that part, to go into that direction. Last but not least, just to share some of our customers, the industry is in transition. We see it with the requests, the conversations we are having with our customers, where we are invited to events, having these conversations with them, where we are engaged on customer side. And you see just 3 customer testimonials sharing their insights. These can be approached via the SAP webpage as well, so they are publicly available. But we learn is our customers need to have a good partner giving you advices, consulting, putting the things together, and we love to be with our customers there, sharing their challenges, and even learn how we can improve our solutions in that part. So this is where I would now come to an end, because I know, Andreas, you might have some question. Exactly. So
Thanks for this.
Welcome to the stage.
It was really fascinating what we've already seen in terms of the solutions you have built and how it looks like, the feel. And you talked about change, and clearly, if I look at the architecture of the new cloud solutions, I was wondering, how do you actually ensure that all the solutions and the concepts you're designing and building and providing are actually meeting customers' requirements? What's the process and the model behind that?
So I already said we love to be with customers. So being in customer engagements, having meetings with them, maybe, for example, coming to Waldorf in the Experience Center, where we show live solution interaction, end-to-end processes, and having exactly these exchange on what is the challenge, what do you really need, and what is the next step maybe you need for your process transition is the most important part. One very good example is our way to design the DR platform, which is, I would say, the next biggest thing from a innovation perspective. So the DR platform is really to support how do we onboard all the things around the smart meter, the wall box, and everything around that. How do we meter it? How do we process that some of the energy is self-consumed, and everything behind that is not from people sitting somewhere in wherever in the world in a cellar. No, the team has dedicated customer interactions. Customer can approach us and say, we are interested in collaborating on this, and then we for sure will try to get a group where we have many customers having the same ideas around, and we start in this collaboration to design which capabilities need to be done.
Great. I mean, this is good, because I do remember from years ago, SAP launched solutions that were not really fit for purpose, and eventually they got abandoned. No, that's really good. So I like the slides where you show the circle.
Yeah, we can go back to that one.
Can we look at this again for a second?
Let me... I'm afraid to click too fast, that I'm too far away. That one.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, am I reading this right? And you said it, you have a modular cloud ERP, But you describe this as qualified partners. What does this actually mean? Are you indicating that the solution in terms of complementing the portfolio a customer needs, you're not providing it all yourselves, you leave it to a partner as well?
Of course. And we would not be as successful as SAP without our partners really being the experts in a really specific area, maybe for a certain market, and just having regulated and deregulated markets as an example for utilities is already separating certain processes, and that you have to approach on different regulatories. So this is an area where we engage with partners. We are approached by, we have an idea on innovation. I think we are a group of very smart people, but we don't know everything. So our partners might have even a great idea which we haven't seen yet, which is a need in the market. So this is where we start to engage. Of course, it's mandatory to have the clean core integration to make it work with the S4 utilities then in that manner in an integrational part. But if this is working, we are happy to add these to exactly this country-specific, process-specific area in that way.
There's another term you just used, clean core.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard this many, many times before. To my mind, and based upon my experience, clean core, to achieve clean core, actually, you need good data.
Yes.
Now, I know you're here now for the last 2 days. Do you see some concrete opportunities where we both could collaborate more and find solutions that helps customers to succeed?
Definitively, because my experience, especially in S4 or even first, there were these HANA ECC conversions, and now we're in the S4 conversions, is we built many things within all the history because it was not available as a capability in the ERP system. So there's a lot of that code, including that tables and that stuff. And it has its value. This might be the sweet spot, which is really the differentiator for you in the market. And one important part is to investigate, is there nowadays a standard match? Either because we have a partner building this solution, or maybe it was built in S4 on its own because we saw the need, but it was not available in the ECC part. But coming back to your clean core question, it's not only about the data, it's how you even kind of interact with solutions and how you integrate.
Great. Just one quote, not one quote, one piece of data. I have seen in the past a customer that spent a lot of money on custom code. And after the years, it was realized not even 90% of that was used. Now, do you have tools to find some measures to bring that to the light?
Yes, so there are workbenches for exactly these transitions which investigate code, especially Z code. And maybe one story from my consulting past where we were investigating a BW on HANA conversion. We had 5,000 red flags exactly from this report saying there is a certain functional thing which is kind of causing a lot of trouble because it won't be working with HANA. And we were then finding out it was one piece of code which was used several times but never called back. So, and this is exactly where in these workbenches there's the right tool set to look deeper into that and to find these things that they might not be as painful as they look like in the first investigation on a high level. And this is really important because sometimes, and this is what I really liked yesterday from the panel, one of them was saying, kind of, is it because we are used to things and we kind of, we prefer to do things like this, or we are afraid of letting go? So, and sometimes we are really attached to things which were created and we're not brave enough to let go.
So, one thing I've not seen, you talked about software shipments. What's the cycle for utilities?
So for the S4 part, we are still in this half-year shipments, and the main
That
shipment
remains. And
exactly.
all the other components?
We are much faster. And
Okay.
it's really interesting to see what the feedback is in the market. So at the beginning, for example, for the business data cloud part with SAC, we really shipped every 4 weeks until some customers said, oh no, this is way too fast. We can't adapt to this. So for these areas, we now have a 3-month shipment, and customers can apply for getting the innovations as soon as they are shipped. I know some customers who wanted to have this, but we tried to be faster, and especially in the cloud solutions, as they are and clean core readiness is exactly being faster with shipments without really influencing the other solutions. This is the benefit from clean core at the end. We are in a 3-month cycle. So,
And this is a more technical question. When you have a partner solution that ducks into your sort of cloud-ready application, what's the quality process you manage that the partner or what the partner builds really fits and doesn't compromise technical integrity of the overall architecture?
First of all, partners have to prove themselves a bit. And this process is not an easy one, because if there is an SAP label on it, you expect a certain quality, which is perfectly fine, and we want to deliver it. So partners have to walk through a product quality assurance gate to prove that they are clean core ready, to walk through that the solution is integrating perfect. This is really challenged during this process. And with partners, we are collaborating for a very long time. This can take really fast. And for partners who have some struggles, it can take a bit longer. So I can't say it's 4 weeks or 3 months. It's something in the average, I would say, in there. But we really walk through a task for these partner solutions that they are working.
Great. Kim, with that, I release you. I'm not putting you on the spot anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.